Yo, what is up, guys? It is Birthroad. Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, today we're going to be doing a graphic designer, that being me. I'm going to be ranking the designs of different anime. Now, I'm pretty much just doing character designs because everything else is kind of not as important. Also, as well, I did every show I have seen, plus I gathered a list. There's some ones from the top 100. Yeah, I wouldn't classify them as that, but let's get straight into it. So first off, we have Attack on Titan. And if we go and look at some of the images of Attack on Titan here, as you can see, we've got these here. I saw another one somewhere down here with the actual characters on it right there. There we go. You can look at some of the manga if you want as well. These are kind of the character designs we were going off of. And in my opinion, they are good character designs, but I don't think they are the absolute peak of character design. So for that, I'm going to put it in great/innovative. I don't really think they're innovative, but they are great. I have great/innovative there because there are some designs that have like transcended, like they may not look, we'll get into it later, but I'm going to put Attack on Titan in great. Next we have Baki, and for Baki, here are some of the different character designs we could look at here. We've got a lot of different characters in this one. They're just in the background, of course. A lot of them are going to be Baki and Yujiro, though. But yeah, we have these different characters in Baki, right? And it is definitely a unique design. They're not you don't really see many characters, if any, that look like this. And so for that reason, I'm going to put Baki in creative. I don't really think they're great, but they're not basic for sure, so it's going to go in the creative tier. Next, we have Beyblade. And as you can see here, we have so many different character designs. I mean, these are like these are just the main characters. Like they stretch so differently. Sorry, it's a Facebook one, so it's never going to focus. But as you can see, we have so many different character designs, right? With the new Beyblade X coming out and everything like that. Even the original Beyblade had interesting designs. They definitely are very unique. And for that reason, I think they're going to go in the great/innovative. They are creative, but I think for the most part, they are good. You have some people like Kenta, I don't really care for his design, or Madoka, but Jinga, Kyoya, Doji, Ryuga, those are all great designs, so I'm going to put it in great/innovative. Next, we have Bleach. So we're looking at Bleach here. We have a lot of different characters, as you can see here. You could go off the manga as well. I do think the manga designs are better, but they are still relatively the same in the anime, right? These are different characters, and I think they are very good, so we could go hop into our ranking. And for Bleach, Bleach is tough, because you have some, like there are some designs in Bleach that are perfection. Like I think Nell is one of the best designed characters I've ever seen. Kenpachi's great, Ichigo's great, Chad's great, Rukia's great, but then there are some that are bad. Like I don't really care for Renji's, to be honest. Uryu's I'm not a big fan of at all. As you know, I am a Uryu hater. I don't really care for Toshiro's either. Like there are some that do hold it back. I want to put it into perfection, but I just don't think that would be valid. I'm going to put it in great/innovative. Definitely innovative as well, so I think that's a perfect category for it. Next we have Bungo Stray Dogs. As you can see, we have different characters here from Bungo. I think, to say the very least, they are definitely unique. I am honestly not the biggest fan of most of the character designs, but they are at the very least unique. So obviously that's going to place it in the creative category there. Next we have Chainsaw Man. And I'm realizing while we're pulling up the Chainsaw Man ones, like the Chainsaw Man characters and stuff like that, I'm not really giving my perspective as a graphic designer necessarily. I'm just saying if the designs are good or bad so far, so I guess I'll go into it now. So, Chainsaw Man excels very well in graphics. Like, not only are the colors great, but the designs are super unique. Proportions are also great. My one complaint about Chainsaw Man, which doesn't necessarily have to do with the designs, but does at the same time, at least anime-wise, because I haven't really read the manga, but as you can see, we could look at some of the people here. Like, I don't know who this is yet, but they look fantastic. So I think I'll be going off that rather than the anime. The anime just does not have a lot of characters in it yet to go off of, but looking at some of the manga stuff here, I think it's pretty obvious where we're going to put Chainsaw Man. It excels in a lot of things, but colors are especially great, and the unique designs off simple-looking characters are fantastic. So honestly, I think I'm going to put Chainsaw Man into perfection. The only character design I do not like in Chainsaw Man is Rize in the human form. Apparently that's a hot take. I don't really care for Rize in the human form, but her devil form is sick. But that's one character, so that's not going to hold it back. I'm going to put in perfection. Next, we have Code Geass. So for Code Geass here, we have many different characters, as you can see. We have all these different character designs over here. I realize my face cam is also blocking some of them. I do apologize. But I think the Code Geass designs suffer from one thing, and that's really the pointy chin. I mean, every character has a pointy chin, and it just, like, to me, it irks me. I don't really like that, because it makes everybody look not the same, because they obviously look way different, but it kind of makes them look the same. And so for me, that's what holds Code Geass back for me. I think everything else looks great. It's just the fact that they all look the exact same, like in terms of facial structure, and that I'm not a fan of. So for that reason, I'm gonna still put it in great/innovative. I just don't really like the anatomy they've got going on, because they all have the same facial structure, and that's just not realistic. And I get a design does not have to be realistic, but it kind of throws it off when they all look the same. So I'm gonna put it in great/innovative. Also, hopefully the face cam down here works a lot better so you guys can see the images. But yeah, let me know. All right, next we have Cowboy Bebop. All right, so if we look at Cowboy Bebop here, obviously there's Spike. Here's the main cast. Here's another image of the main cast. Honestly, for its time, definitely innovative for sure. Back in the day, they had trouble animating really, especially it's an anime only as well. They had trouble animating different colors and stuff and different design. Like Spike's hair is green. It's green a lot of times. Green here. It's green here. Because they had trouble animating stuff like that, right? So, for its time, and it being anime only, I think it's going to rank pretty highly. So I think for Cowboy Bebop, I think we're going to put it in the great/innovative. It's also like really one of the first shows of its kind to do design like this, and it is so clean. Like Spike, I think Spike and Ichigo are very similar. Like their designs are so clean. So I think it's going to land in the same category as Bleach. But yeah, I think a lot of their designs are very either unique or clean. Like Ed, there wasn't a character like Ed that looked like Ed till Cowboy Bebop, and I'm not saying Cowboy Bebop inspired characters look like that, but now there is a lot more. And you know, it was very unique for the time, and they tried a lot of new stuff. So I'm going to put great/innovative. Next, we have Dragon Ball Z. Now, you know, if you've ever looked at the designs of Dragon Ball Z, you might know where this will go. Now, I am not quite a hater on the Dragon Ball characters as most people, but there is something to be said that every single character is just Goku with a different haircut. For the most part, that's how it started to be once it got to Z, pretty much, because Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, Tien, even Piccolo, they all have the same face. They just change their like hair or like their skin color and stuff. So, you know, I try to pull up an example if I can find it, but they like all just look the same. And so that is a big problem design wise. Like it's not really good. Now, if you want to talk about the good stuff, colors are obviously amazing. The hair is super unique. There's no one that really draws it quite like that. And all of the characters look really original. Its only knock really is a lot of them are just Goku. They are just Goku, right? So that is probably the big problem with Dragon Ball. However, like I said, I'm not harsh on it, so I am going to put in great/innovative. It honestly is an innovative design just for the hair. The hairstyles in Dragon Ball have been used by so many over the years because they are so innovative. The clothes as well are also super iconic, of course, and innovative. So I'm going to put in great/innovative because that's what it is. Next, we have Death Note. Now, Death Note, the manga for Death Note definitely has a lot better designs. I know it's like a really low quality, that picture, and they do look good in the anime. The problem is if we type in, or here's a Death Note manga, look at how spectacular those look. Oops. Like those look very, like they look a lot better than what they do in the show. Now the show still isn't bad as you can see here, but I do think the manga is definitely better, and I'm going to give these shows the benefit of the doubt, so I will be going with the manga since it does look better here. So yeah, the manga designs are absolutely fantastic. They are beautiful. I get the title says anime. We Oh, I actually did not include any of the manga I've read, so I am lying on that part. I was going to include Kagurabachi because I read that, and Ultimate Extras Kyoshi. I guess I will give my thoughts on those at the end if I remember, but we'll give shows benefit of the doubt. The manga looks fantastic. The anime does not look bad, it's just not really as good. And surprise, surprise, it's going to go in great/innovative. It's got a lot of great designs, but it is a little too simple to put it into perfection. Like Chainsaw Man took a lot of very unique stuff and made it look very great. So Death Note's just going to have to go in great/innovative. Next here we have Death Parade. Now Death Parade is a fantastic show. I do love it. It is very great. Here are the character designs. Here is a bigger one with the character designs. It's probably going to be the best picture we're going to be able to get here. Honestly, they're solid. The critiques, and you will hear this with a lot of shows that I'll mention, there's just too much going on, I think, with some of them. Like, I think Chiyuki's design is fantastic. Decim has a little too much going on, in my opinion. Like, the eyes are very distracting, and I get some people are gonna be like, oh, I love them, that's what makes it good. That, again, from a design standpoint, it's hard because there is a lot going on, and sometimes you want that, sometimes you don't. I think in a case like Decim, you probably don't want that because he's really supposed to be kind of like dead inside, and he has so much character drawn on him. I still think, obviously, it's a fantastic show. It has nothing to do with that, but there is just too much going on in these designs. But it's definitely not basic, so I will still put it in creative. Next up, we have Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer is kind of the opposite of Death Note. It looks so much better than the manga. The manga does not really look that good. The anime looks very great, of course. You have all these different characters here. They look very good. Like we said, they look very good. My complaints are about really more specific characters in Demon Slayer. Also, the eyes. I'm actually not a big fan of the eyes. I don't like when people do these really massive eyeballs. Like, I think Giyu looks great. Look at Giyu. They're still big. Muzan's pretty good. Those are proportionate size eyes. You go to Tanjiro, these things take up a fourth of his head, if not more. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. The proportions are pretty bad in Demon Slayer. I get some people may like it. I don't. Also, I think the designs of the eyes are pretty bad. Like, Nezuko's eyes just look kind of stupid, honestly, if you ask me. Again, it's a case of trying to do too much, in my opinion. Some of them do look good. Like, Tanjiro's color of the eyes and design is fine. I just think they're way too massive, way too massive. And we go back to Giyu. Again, Giyus are fine. Muzan, again, there's a little much, but I get they're supposed to be demons. They're trying to, kind of prop it up to be bigger. But yeah, I'm not a really big fan of the inconsistency in the eyes of some characters. Like, these are just too fucking huge, and how big a lot of them are. That's my biggest complaint for Demon Slayer, but I would say for sure it is still creative because I think the clothing on the characters is fantastic. I just think the other parts kind of lack. Also, most of the hairstyles aren't really that good, to be honest with you. They're all kind of basic. So yeah, the clothes I would put in great/innovative. The hair and stuff I'd put in basic, and then the eyes and stuff I'd put in creative. So I think we're just gonna meet in the middle and go creative here. I think there's just too much going on the face. Like, the faces just don't look right. Next we have Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Now again, this is another anime only, and this is a good example of really most of the characters, right? I guess maybe this one might be good too. I don't know, it's too much colors. Now, I made a TikTok once talking about the designs in Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I guess it's a hot take for me. I hate the colorway, honestly, on Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Like, this colorway, to me, is very bad. It's too bright almost. There's too many colors that don't work well together here, and so for me, that's why I'm not a big fan of. Now, David, I think, has done very well, but I think you look at someone like Lucy here. Lucy has so many colors that just do not fit with each other in terms of, if you know anything about the color theory. There's just way too much going on with Lucy, honestly, and that's a big complaint of mine. I think Main is very well. I think Main's girlfriend or whatever, she is not designed very well. Nobody else is really designed well other than David and Main. They look solid. I mean, Adam Smasher's okay too, but a lot of the characters just have really funky designs, and Again, I think it's another case of trying to do too much, and then they have like this yellow-green filter on every character that I am not a fan of either. I mean, even look at the lighting here. It just doesn't look like normal lighting. So yeah, that's my biggest complaint, is really the color palettes on these characters are really bad. So for me, it's definitely not basic. It's still going to go into creative, obviously, and I do love David's design. I love Main's design, but other than those two, yeah, not really feeling it. Fairy Tail, now this is a show I've been very high on for design, so let's go take a look at it. Now, Fairy Tail has a ton of characters, and I know we said we'd give benefit of the doubt. I think they look fantastic in the anime, but the manga is a lot better. Like, take a look at these characters. These are some of the best character designs like I've ever seen in a manga. I absolutely love them. Now, the only complaint you could say is some of them have similar facial features, like I said with Code Geass, but it's not even for the most part. Like, that's not a common occurrence. Like, I think Gray and Natsu are kind of similar. But like, we could go back to this picture. Like, there's nobody else really similar to them at all. Like, Gray and Natsu are kind of similar. Lucy and Juvia maybe, but nobody else with those two, right? So I think there's a lot of uniqueness. Okay, that's way too tiny within Fairy Tail, and I think they do a lot of stuff right. I think their colors are great. I think their clothes are great. I think the tattoos they put on them are great. Obviously, the jewelry they do is great. I think Fairy Tail kind of excels in everything, and in my opinion, Fairy Tail has the best character design out of any anime out there. So obviously, I think you know where it's going to be ranked. It's going to go into perfection. I love Fairy Tail's design. Show, not a big fan of, but the designs are very good. Next, we have Golden Kamuy. Alright, so when looking at Golden Kamuy, again, I think the manga is better, but I actually think it translates very well. So this is like the manga. I think that is too. And then this is the anime. I mean, it looks relatively the same. Golden Kamuy suffers from one thing, and that is like individuality. Like this guy in the top left, there are a lot of characters that look like him, but like one of them is important. It's like, you can't be important and look like everybody else, you know, in a story. I get in real life it's like that, but like in a story, it just makes it kind of complicated. And like this guy down here as well, there's a lot of characters that look like him. But then you got the main cast. Like nobody looks like Asirpa. I think that's how you say her name. Nobody looks like Sugimoto. Nobody looks like the other guy, and nobody looks like the main villain. But then there are some characters that just look way too similar, and it's hard to tell them apart sometimes. So I think that's where it struggles. And so for that reason, oh gosh, honestly, I think I'm just going to put it in creative. I wanted to put it in great because like Sugimoto's design is fantastic. But other than Sugimoto and Asirpa, the other designs are just kind of like they're not fantastic. So I think I'm just going to put it in creative because they really only got two. All right, next we have Gurren Lagann. Now Gurren Lagann, let me get a high quality picture. Here we go. Here is one of them. As you can see, the characters look very different. The main three right here, Simone, Kamina, and Yoko, look very different. I hate mechs, so we're not going to talk about the mech part because technically not a character. Here are a lot of the important people. But Gurren Lagann, I don't think really struggles from anything. The only thing maybe, I don't really like this person. Like, I think there's doing too much on this character, but everybody else looks fantastic. You could maybe say it's a little too bright, but honestly, that's not a complaint in my opinion. And I'm trying to find the main villain. I thought he would be on here, but let me just look him up. This guy looks fantastic. This is one of the best designed characters I've ever seen. I know it's simple, but simple is a lot of times best. Something that's easy to understand is oftentimes the best thing you could do, and this is one of the best character designs I've ever seen. So moving forward, I'll try to make this a little bit quicker. I'm honestly going to put Gurren Lagann in perfection. I think it has one bad character design and everybody else is pretty good. Again, the one thing you could complain about is maybe it's a little too bright. Maybe there's a little bit too much going on, but I honestly don't think so. So I'm going to put it in perfection. Next, we have Hunter x Hunter. So we have Hunter x Hunter here. Here are some of the characters. This is the old one. Now, manga does look slightly better, but again, they translate pretty well, so I don't think I need to go into all that. So I'm going to try to make these critiques a little bit quicker. As you can see, here's the manga. It looks still very good in both. But critique-wise, the only thing, there's not really much, honestly. I think Hunter x Hunter is very great. It's just the problem is there's not any character that's like, that is like superb design work. Like, he just gives them cool hair and cool clothes, which is sometimes enough. That's all you really need. So I think they are really great designs. But again, I wouldn't say perfection, because like Gon, I mean, it's good, but it's not like anything crazy. Same with Killua, same with Leoria. Kurapika, I do think, has a fantastic design. I think Corolla has a fantastic design. I think Hisoka has a fantastic design. But a lot of the other characters, they're just decent, right? So I think it's going to go into great. There's just not enough. It's kind of like Bleach. So I'd put it in great/innovative. Next, we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, obviously, the manga in JoJo's looks way better. The guy literally has JoJo's hanging up in the Louvre. I mean, that's how good it looks. So we're just going to be looking at the manga for this one again, giving benefit of the doubt. I love the JoJo designs, but I do not think they're the best. I think they're very, very good. I just don't think they're the best because a lot of times there is too much going on. Like, let's just be honest. There are some characters that there is just way too much on them. Like, dude on the left here, I don't think I've got to him yet, unless if I'm just forgetting. Like, he's just got way too much going on. And I know this is just like an art piece or whatever that he did. It's not any of the like actual official designs, but there are just sometimes where the characters just do have a little bit too much. But that's really the only complaint. I don't see how you could complain about anything else in JoJo's. So for that reason, I'm still going to put it in perfection. I think they look great. That's just nitpicking, saying there's a little too much going on. The character design is what made JoJo's very popular to begin with. Next, we have JJK. Now, this is another one where the characters transferred over pretty well, so I don't really need to look at the manga, but here they are. Like I said, they transferred pretty well, if not better. Honestly, JJK's design is very good. It is very fantastic. I would like to get a big picture with a lot of characters, but that's just not popping up. So as you can see here, we have a bunch of characters here with a bunch of unique designs, a bunch of memorable designs here. Maybe this is a little higher quality. Not really, but you could see more. None of these characters look the same. And that, to me, is very good. You also have iconic designs like Yuji and Sukuna and Gojo. Like, those are iconic designs. And I think whether people want to admit it, there's only one spot this can go. And I think it has to go into perfection. They don't have any bad designs, and they have a lot of iconic designs. I think it has to go into perfection, whether people want to admit it or not. Next, we have One Piece. Now, again, this is another show that translates pretty well, so we don't really need to see the manga. The biggest complaint for me, and a lot of people have this complaint without even being a designer, is that the designs just change, and it's like, why are we changing our character designs? I don't get that. I know that doesn't really happen as much in the manga because there's not that much color, but yeah, like, look how dark Zoro is here. I don't even know if I could find an updated Zoro because, I mean, look at that, he's pure white down there. So that's the biggest complaint. Another complaint I have is the proportions are awful. Too many characters look goofy, and I get that's what gives One Piece its charm. But if you talk about design, like Kobe's a good design. I honestly don't really care for Luffy's design. Zoro's is pretty good. If we look at the cast here, Sanji's is good. Chopper, Nami, and a lot of the women are also designed relatively similarly, and they are so blown out of proportion. I like the show, and I like the designs for the most part, but we can't act like they are anything fantastic. Like, Law is a fantastic design, but then you look at people like, I think their names were Mizu and Lemon. Like, there's just also too many characters. You look at all of Big Mom's family, a lot of those characters are really poorly designed, and I get people are gonna be like, they're supposed to be goofy and wacky or whatever. Sure, but that doesn't make it good. It was good for its intention, but it just doesn't look good. And so for that reason, it's still going to go in creative because obviously it's super creative, but yeah, it just has way too many wacky and weird characters. Next, we have One Punch Man. Now, obviously, we are going to go off the manga because the anime has massacred it. So obviously, this is one of the most iconic panels of all time. So many iconic character designs as well. Like, even Saitama, as basic as he is, just a bald guy with a cape and stuff, he is super iconic. Like, he is. Garo is a fantastic iconic design. Boros, also fantastic. Like, look at these like, obviously that's stuff going on, but let's go back to the characters. Look at how fantastic they look in here. Yeah, One Punch Man, he's arguably one of the greatest artists ever. Here's one with color if you want. Never mind, it's probably not gonna load. Here's one with color. One of the greatest artists for sure, and one of the best character designers, obviously. So pretty easily, that's simple. It's going to go into perfection. Next, we have Rave Master. Honestly, I'm not going to pull it up. It's made by the same guy that made Fairy Tail. They look the same. It's also going to go into perfection. It's not quite as perfected as Fairy Tail. Like, it's not as mastered in his craft, but it's all the same things said about Fairy Tail you could say about Rave Master, so it's also going to go in perfection. Next, we have solo leveling. Let's just go take a look. So here we have solo leveling, and I'm already going to tell you the biggest problem with solo leveling without even having to look. There are very few characters with unique designs because there are very few characters that matter. Even these characters that have unique designs, I can't tell you the name of any of them other than Cha-In, and that's just because I don't like her. I don't know the names of any characters in the show because they're not important, and their designs are treated not importantly as well, and you go with the guards and stuff like that. Now, there are some characters that are designed well, but just being honest with you, the only character that matters is the only character that looks different, which is Sung Jin-Woo, and he honestly wouldn't look different if he didn't have so much glow and shit all the time, because even then he looks kind of basic. There are very few characters that look very unique, and a lot of characters, like even Igris looks like that guy from Seven Deadly Sins. I think his name was like Garland or something like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the character designs in Solo Leveling aren't really that good. So for that reason, I think it's gonna be our first one in basic. Like, it's not bad. I wouldn't call them bad. They're just not that good. Next, we have Vinland Saga. Now, Vinland Saga is kind of similar to Solo Leveling in that there's not many characters that are important, and a lot of the characters do look the same, including the main character. He doesn't even really look that different, because a lot of them are just blonde Vikings and stuff, right? And for me, I don't really like Vikings, so the Viking design in itself is already pretty bad. But if you want to go off of critique, yeah, they all look the same. I mean, yes, I know Vikings are known for having the blonde hair, whatever. Vikings had all different types of colored hair, just like we do now, which I know they do have some, like as you can see this guy and his dad, so you know, he is representing that. I just think, I don't want to say they all look similar, they just are basic, right? Like, there's no design in Vinland Saga that's like, wow, that's a really good design, because they're all just basic characters. Now, I think the art is great, obviously, but that doesn't really change much in this situation. So for me, it's going to be another one in basic that's 2 back-to-back. Next, we have Devil May Cry. This one's tough. The reason why I say this one is tough is because it's obviously based off a video game, and video game designs tend to be pretty freaking good. And I don't want to do like, oh, we could go off the manga, because there is no manga. I want to go off of the anime. Now, I've only seen the new one. I haven't seen the old one, and the designs in this are great. I do think they look better in the game, but they are great. The only reason it can't go into perfection is because obviously this isn't original material, and I don't want to go off a video game because that, I don't know, that just feels wrong. So it's not original material, but it looks great, so I'm not going to talk about it much longer. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in great. They do look good, but yeah, I just can't. Next, we have D. Gray Man. Now, this was a show I actually decided to watch because of its character design, specifically with Alan, because I realized the more I watch, the character designs are pretty bad. I'm going to be honest. Alan looks great. Cross looks good. That's it for the good guys, right? If you look at some of the bad guys, which I'm not sure, like this is Tiki Mick or whatever his name is, he looks great. Here's a like manga panel, like Alan looks great. Some of the villains look great, but even like the main villain, like Millennial Earl, I don't really like him. A lot of the Noah family, I'm not a big fan of. It's really just Alan and some of the villains. So for that reason, I am going to put it in creative, because for the most part it is creative just because of the main characters and stuff. But yeah, I was a little disappointed when I decided to watch it. Next, we have GTO. Now, I think going off the manga for GTO would be unfair because there's so much more. There's just so much more. Plus, I just don't want to be bothered sitting through all that. Honestly, though, other than Onizuka, every character in here just looks basic. I mean, nothing is bad, but I think it's pretty obvious where this is going to go. Yeah, it's going to have to go into basic. I love GTO, but Onizuka is the only one with any personality in his design. Next, we have Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy. Now, this is a show where the designs are definitely something. I'm honestly going to say I'm not a big fan of them. I think because they are just kind of, I don't know if it's boring. Well, I don't know what the right word is. These characters are just overdone. Now, no Tsukimichi. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea when this shit came out. I forgot. 2021. I mean, yeah, it's not even that old. It's kind of like, I don't know, a lot of these isekais like this just are kind of, to me, just Genshin Impact put into anime form. The character designs just aren't really that creative in my opinion. The only one I like is the dragon. I feel like her design is good, but everybody else is just kind of like, I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. I just don't. I feel bad to say there's not creativity there, because obviously they're original designs and stuff. It's just, they're quite boring in my opinion. There's not really anything unique about. I think her name's Mio, main guy. Nothing interesting about him. The goddesses and stuff. Yeah, I really only like the dragon, and I forgot her name. So for that reason, I am going to put it in basic. Basic does not mean just looking like a normal person. These designs are just pretty basic in my opinion. Next we have Ghost in the Shell, which is a pioneer for anime design. Now, I have actually designed some stuff for Ghost in the Shell, so I am very familiar with character designs and stuff like that. So obviously these were super innovative for its time, mainly because of the story, but also the animations as well were very beautiful. This is like a newer one, but like the old one, which is the one I have seen, they were very innovative for their time. So at the very least, it's going to go innovative because it was. I mean, there's nothing really like this at the time, but I would be lying if I said it's like the most fantastic thing I've seen. So it's going to go into innovative just because it literally was, but other than that, I can't say anything else. Like, they're just alright. Next we have Kill la Kill. So Kill la Kill has the same issues, or not issues, but the same thing you would call out if you don't really like the Gurren Lagann character designs, because they are very bright. They have like that loose, yeah, like loose design, I guess. I don't really know another word for it, but yeah, they also have really weird proportions at times. I think their colorways are good. I'm scared to click on some of these images, but overall, I'd say it's solid. It's not anything crazy, because other than the main, even like you look at the guys in the back, like these are interesting clothes and stuff like that. So I'd say it is pretty good. The only thing that holds it back for me, people might argue it, I just don't think there's anything that really stands out in Kill la Kill design-wise. Like, yeah, I mean, it's all good, so I'm going to put it in creative because it's all good, but I just don't think it's in that great innovative category. Next, we have Saiki K. This is not going to take long. I find most of the characters in Saiki K super boring, basic, and honestly bad. I think the only guy with a good design is like this white, bluish hair guy. I forgot his name. Yeah, I really don't like the design in Saiki K. If you want a more specific reasoning, I mean, the butt chin guy, I mean, that's just an ugly design. I get that's the point. The rest of these characters look like they have no soul in them whatsoever. Saiki K has no soul, and I love the color pink, but we're overdoing it with the antennas and the blue eyes here, like an alien, right? Like, I think, yeah, they're just not great, I'm going to be honest. So we've got our first one here that is going to land into bad. I don't like the Saiki K design. I love the use of the color pink, but that's pretty much it, and they have one character with good design, so I'm going to put him in bad. Next we have Boruto. Now I would say Boruto is going to go with Naruto for the most part, but I actually don't think this is going to be the case, because a lot of the Boruto designs are very different from the Naruto ones. So we're going to take a look at some of them here. Now I do think the manga is slightly better, as you can see here, but overall I don't think it's a big deal, because a lot of the newer designs in the manga that look really good have not been animated, so I feel like there's no point to really look at it yet. We look at some of the character designs. I feel like it's a little, look, here's like a perfect comparison. Like, even Naruto looks watered down, Sasuke looks watered down. I like Sarada's design a lot, actually. I think she's probably the most well designed. I mean, that's not going to load in high quality because it's Facebook, but the new Sarada looks fantastic, the new Kawaki Boruto, but like the Boruto that we have anime wise just is not really, it kind of took a step down, if you want me to be honest. But yeah, it's because the art was done by somebody else. So I think that the Boruto, I'm going to rank it differently from Naruto and Twin Blue Vortex, because that's done by the old guy. This was kind of done by somebody else. And for me, like I said, it's just Naruto but watered down. And honestly, for me, that's tough, because I'm thinking about it from a design standpoint. Like, if I was told I had to design Boruto characters, like, and I went with this direction that this guy did, that would be a bad design choice, because that is literally so uncreative. So I might put it in basic because it's not creative. He just took like Naruto characters and just like watered it down a lot. I just don't know if I'd consider that bad, but I think I'm going to go basic. But next we're going to move on to Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, this was obviously created by the guy that made Hunter x Hunter. Well, I say obviously, if you didn't know that, it's not obvious. But so it shares a lot of similarities with Hunter x Hunter that I described there, which, although my description of Hunter x Hunter was not great, I will be honest. But the thing with Yu Yu, I think the character designs are a lot better. And Hiei is obviously one of the most iconic, this third one here, he is one of the most iconic designs in anime history. Like, people have seen Hiei, may not know his name, but they'd be like, I've seen that character before, and they may have never heard of this show at all. People have seen Hiei. He is so iconic. I think Kurama is a good design. I think Kuwabara is a good design. Yusuke is good. But like some areas it misses out are like Toguro, are like when he goes in the big form, like it does just look bad. Sensui looks bad at times. There are some bad character designs in here, but it has one of the most iconic character designs ever, which is going to land in great innovative with Hunter x Hunter. Now, if some of the other characters were designed better, I'd think about perfection, but Toguro in the big muscular form just looks bad. Togoro's younger brother just looks bad. Some of the characters do just look bad, right? But I'm going to put it in great/innovative. Next, we have Doraemon. And honestly, I think this picture is good enough because all you're going to see is more pictures of the cat and like the main dude. This one's hard for me because it's obviously directed towards kids, and when you're doing something for kids, you do want something simple, and this is very, very simple. I think the cat obviously is iconic, so for that reason, I think I'm going to put it in creative just because they nailed that cat design, but everybody else is kind of basic, but I'll just put it in creative because they really nailed it for a kid's show. Next, we have Skate the Infinity. Now, this is a show I absolutely hate. I do not like this show at all. But I will say the character designs are not bad. Here's the best example we have. I know it's kind of small. I do apologize, but I'm not seeing any picture with maybe this one. No, that's pretty bad. All right, let's just stick to this. This green-haired guy, not a big fan of his design, to be honest. I think the goggles and hair kind of ruin it. Pink, same thing. Not a big fan of the goggles. The clothes look fine, though. The clown guy, honestly, that's one of the worst designed characters I've seen ever. He looks like some off-brand Joker mixed with Kiss. It just looks really, really bad. I'm gonna be honest. It's at least unique though, but it does look really bad, to be honest with you. Reki, the main character in the middle there with the red hair, he is a very well designed character. Longa next to him, also very well designed. The little green shit that I hate, honestly, he's got a decent design. I give it to him. His design's not bad, but I do not like him. Adam's design, I don't really like at all. I think his hair is pretty bad. Either the cut one or the long one, it does not look good. And the guy on the right, honestly, don't remember him. He just looks kind of basic. So they have their ups and downs. They have some really well-designed characters and some really poorly designed characters. But at the very least, you know it's creative, so it's going to have to go in creative for me. Next, we have Rurouni Kenshin. Now, I need to start going a little bit quicker. So the ones that have a lot of the characters, I might just do from here. I do apologize if that is annoying, but I've already been recording for over an hour, and I'm going to be honest, this footage don't need to be that long. But next, we have Rurouni Kenshin. As you can see, the designs here. Now, this is updated. I do think the newer designs in this anime are better than the old one, and better than the manga as well. But at the end of the day, they are not anything special. I'd put them in basic. Next, we have The God of High School, which I do need to pull up this one because this is another benefit of the doubt situation. So as you can see, the webtoon version just looks so much. So this is the anime cover. I mean, that alone, so much better. This was chapter 1. Yes, that looks great. This, I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I'm not really getting a lot of, but like this looks fantastic, right? Like it looks so good. Like that looks fantastic, of course. Everything in the webtoon honestly looks great. This is also the webtoon as well. That one's not, but a lot of the webtoon looks great. Like this is from it as well. Honestly, it looks so much better. This is from it as well. Like look, that's so great. They have so much good stuff from there. Again, another one looks fantastic. And I think for me, the designs here really are special because they have a lot of great women characters, which a lot of artists in manga struggle to do for some reason, but like Chainsaw Man does it very well. Fairy Tail does it well. But other than that, you know, The God of High School does it very well. And to me, it feels like Dragon Ball, but a lot more unique. So for me, I'm honestly going to put it perfection. I love the art. It is beautiful. Next, we have The Elusive Samurai. I'm not going to waste my time on this. The character designs are basic because they are from history, so it's pretty easy to design these guys. But I am actually going to say bad because they somehow took something that literally happened and was real and made it worse. So for that reason, I'm going to go bad. Next we have Mashle. Again, we have a lot of the characters here. It's not something I need to pull up because the manga doesn't look that much better. And I think they are very unique. I think they're very creative. Do I think they have anything really special going on? Sometimes with the lines, like people love Ben's brother, Rain. Yeah, Rain. People love Rain because the lines and stuff. And some of the character designs are great. But there's nothing jumping out the water for me, so I'm going to go creative. Next we have Ippo. We only got Ippo here. Alright, so that means I gotta pull it up. So if we look at Ippo here, here's one with a lot of character designs. I do think the manga looks slightly better, but it is adapted very well, at least in the old one. I'm not a big fan of this new animation they went with. But overall, the characters are kind of just basic. They're not bad by any means, but there's no character with like great design, honestly. They all look like just normal people, so that's fine. I mean, that's the point of it, but yeah, it's nothing that's really crazy. So for me, I'm gonna go basic here. Next we have Windbreaker. Okay, thankfully we have a lot here. Honestly, the designs in Windbreaker are very, very good. This is missing some of the better ones, but every character looks unique, and honestly, it kind of needs it for the show. Not to start critiquing the show, but a lot of the characters are pretty boring. So having them have unique character designs at least lets you remember who they are, even if they're not important. And they all look somewhat normal other than Sakura, but obviously he needs to stand out. He's the main character. So for me, I think it's going to go in great / innovative. It's a great design. Next we have Pokemon. Again, this is a hard one to rate off the anime, but we have so much here we could go off of. I don't like the new animation style, and it's innovative, but I wouldn't say it's perfect. There's a lot of characters in Pokemon that I don't like the designs of, but that's a completely different video. So I'm just going to go great and innovative, and we're not going to talk about that one. Sword Art, we got enough characters here, as you can tell. Sword Art was kind of the originator of, not the originator, but a lot of people design their shit similarly to Sword Art because they love the isekai genre. I don't know how Sword Art's considered an isekai, but anyway, that's besides the point. So they were kind of the start of it, so I could say innovative, but I honestly think the style is pretty boring. I don't think there's... I'm going to have to give them the great / innovative, though, because there's so much shit that looks like it now that I'm trying to give it a knock for. But Sword Art kind of was the first to do it, so how can I hate Sword Art? It's not their fault. I have to give it innovative because it was. It's just, I'm not a big fan of this design style. Next we have Blix. Just again, we have a ton of characters here. This is one where you have Shura, Rin are really the only good designed characters. The rest of them are just not good. They try to be creative, I guess. They just are not really great. So I guess I'll go creative, but yeah, not a big fan of a lot of those. Next we have My Hero. Again, one of the best artists we have. But the characters still translate very well, even though they do look better in the manga. They translate very well, and I can't think of a bad My Hero design. I can't, so I'm going to have to go perfection, I guess. Assassination Classroom, we'll pull up the characters here. So, okay, that's live action. So we have some of the characters here, really the only two that matter other than Korra, but we could pull that. That's a bad picture. This one's a little bit closer. Korra's design, very unique, interesting. I don't like Nagisa's design. Karma really has the only other good design as well, and everybody else is very, very, very basic. So obviously, it's going into basic. Next, we have Full Metal Alchemist. We have enough characters here. My complaint with Full Metal is that some of the faces of the characters, like the anatomy, they just don't look right. I'm not saying they need to be perfect, but it was like we were talking about with Demon Slayer, how the eyes are too big in Demon Slayer. It's not really like that in Full Metal, but some of the characters just have a strange looking face. For example, Roy Mustang. I love Roy. He's my favorite character. It's so when you draw a head, you're obviously going to draw here. My head does not end here. Roy's head ends here because that's where his hair starts. It just looks like his head ends where his hair starts, and that's not how you draw a head. Obviously my head goes up here, and my hair starts here. As you can see, he did it fine with Ed. With Roy, his hair starts here, and his head just ends here. His head does not go back. I don't know. It's so strange. So that's my only problem with it. I'm still put it in creative though, because for the most part they are. But again, nothing really innovative here. Next we have Mob Psycho. A ton of characters here. I don't dislike any of the characters. Again, you could have the same complaint you do about Gurren Lagann, and it's going to go where Gurren Lagann does. It's going to go into perfection. Not a bad character design in Mob whatsoever. Black Clover, we have a lot of the characters here. This one is similar that there are some characters that do just look kind of funky. But other than that, I think they are very good. I just don't know if I'd put them great. Obviously, the manga looks a lot better. I think I'm going to put it great. I'm biased towards Black Clover. If you guys don't know, I love Black Clover, so I think I'm going to go great. I'm a little biased. So next we have Naruto here. We have a lot of the characters here as well, so we don't really need to pull up everything. Again, looks better in the manga, as most things do. But Naruto's characters do transfer very well, and obviously Naruto has some of the most iconic character designs ever, some of the most recognizable character designs ever, and unlike Dragon Ball, it's not being held back by a lot of the characters use the same stuff. A lot of the characters are very unique and very different. Even the family members look different. Now, obviously that changes in Boruto, but in Naruto they were very different. The only relatives that really looked the same were Shikamaru and his dad. That was pretty much it. So Naruto for me is going to go into perfection. Love those designs. Alright, so Fire Force, we have a lot of the characters here. The biggest problem with Fire Force is obviously uniforms. Any show with uniforms is going to be held back just because you're all wearing the same shit. But Shinra, I love Shinra's design. Arthur's is good. People hate on Tamaki, good design. Iris, good design. They all have good designs. It just does lack it just lacks that a lot of the characters wear the same stuff. So I'm still going to put it in great/innovative because they all look unique enough to understand the difference, but they all wear the same thing, so like they kind of lose their personality there. Next we got 2B Hero X, ton of characters on here. I don't see how you put this anywhere other than perfection, honestly. Not a single bad, yeah, it's got to go up there. Samurai Champloo. Mugen and Fu are some of the 2 best designed characters we've ever seen, honestly. But Jin does just look like a normal swordsman. A lot of the others, like Samurai, just look not really special. And I get a lot of the characters aren't really special other than these 3, but none of them really have any personality. I think just because of what they, I don't know, 2 good characters. I don't know if I could put in great/innovative. I love the show. I think I have to put in creative though. That all they've got is Fu and Mugen. So yeah. Next we got Fate. Just do Fate in its entirety. There's a lot of characters here as well. Fate, a lot of them have fat heads. That's my biggest problem. And like their eye, like a lot of the shit on their face is just too spread out. Like their eyes are so far apart. Their nose so far from their eyes. That's my biggest complaint about Fate, is kind of their facial structures. A lot of their clothes are cool, but I don't think it's anything fantastic. Like no one in Fate other than Gilgamesh really looks amazing. And then you have some characters that in my opinion don't look that good. Like I don't like Saber's design at all. I don't really care for it. So I'm gonna go creative. I mean, I think it's creative, but like it's nothing special. Next we have Trigun. Trigun for me is like, God, they've got a lot of really good designs. Sorry if you can hear my daddy's bugging. Anyway, we've got a lot of really good designs. Like there's some characters missing on here, but every character, like you remember them. Honestly, as crazy it is, I'm gonna put Trigun in perfection. It's so old, but like the character designs are so different. All right, so we have D Gray Man on here twice. I don't remember what we put it. Let's put in creative, I guess, again. Next we have Tokyo Revengers. Again, you can see a lot of the characters here. Also, I know my face cam is blocking bad now. We will scroll down and look. But we still have a lot more to go, honestly. So with Tokyo Revengers here, you can see a lot of the characters here. They do look great. But the big problem is all of them are blonde for some reason. Like you have one guy with black hair. He probably dyes his hair blonde at some point. I didn't finish the show yet. That's the biggest problem. A lot of them are blonde. I'm going to put it great, but yeah. No Game, No Life. These are really the only 2 characters that matter. And the biggest problem with this is it's similar to like Call of the Night. Like it has a pink filter on it the whole time. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good character design. I'm going to be honest. So yeah, also there's no hard blacks, which I'm not a fan of. I love black in designs. Like if you don't use the color black, I don't know what you're doing. There's literally no black in this picture or in the show, I don't think. It's definitely creative, but it's just not good. Next we have Black Lagoon, which I'll pull up Black Lagoon. So we have Revy here, who is the main character. Here are some of the main cast. It's one where, again, it's only the main character is really treated with any specialty. But Revy does look great. However, for Black Lagoon, it's similar with GTO. I think I have to put it in basic. Revi's the only one that has any design. Alright, Sword of the Stranger. When I looked it up, I really only saw these 3 characters. Again, I don't know what this is, but this was in like top 100 list or whatever. I will be pulling up a lot of the other ones I don't know, but this one, like when I was looking at it, I didn't even see anything else. So, yeah. We could just go off these 3. I mean, it looks fine. I'll just put it basic. Vampire Hunter DC. Here's one we can look up. So this is Vampire Hunter D. I'm not a big fan of vampire designs, but this was back in the day, so they weren't outdone at this point, so I gotta remember that. Because vampires are just overdone, honestly. But the designs, they look creative. I don't think they look anything great, but they do look creative, so I think that's where it'll go. You're going into creative for Vampire Hunter D. Next we have Hellsing. I mean, I'll look it up, but like, I think we know, bro. A lot of people from Hellsing are very, very unique, very interesting, and you got one of the most iconic designs ever being Alucard. Again, this is another character similar to Hiei. They may not know his name, they may not know what he's from, they've seen him before. He's super iconic, so yeah, it's pretty obvious where this one's going to go. Honestly, I think I'm going to put it Perfection. I said it's obvious as I was like hinting towards innovative. I think I'm putting it Perfection. Next we have Dead Man Wonderland. These are the only 2 characters that matter, and I know the manga is completely different, but this character, again, super recognizable. Honestly, it's going innovative. It's super iconic. Next we have Afro Samurai. Again, this is another innovative just off Afro Samurai. So there we go. Next we have Redline. Honestly, don't know what this is, so we'll have to look it up. Okay, so immediately I'm liking this picture. I'm liking the use of colors that are working well, because again, we've talked about overdoing it, especially with colors. You have too many colors, it's not going to look great. This girl actually looks really good, really well designed. Main character, I'm not a big fan of his haircut, not a fan of this guy either. It's too tiny to see. The girl looks great though, but I'm not gonna lie, everything else, like, yeah, everything else is just kind of eh. So, you know, I think we got one spot for it. Again, we had the one character once. It's going to have to go basic. Everybody else just isn't really doing it, but that girl did look good. Next, we have this one, Promare, I think this was called. Promare? I don't know. Let's look. All right, so we have Promare here. Okay, so this is like similar to the Cyberpunk. Okay, so it's that animation style I don't like, where, again, there's no black on here at all. Look, there's like no black anywhere. Even this dark down here, it's not black. It's going to be gray. I'm just not a big fan of this animation style. I don't like the loose style as much, but I will say it is creative. That's honestly it. I don't think I can say anything else about it. I'm not a big fan of these designs, I'll be honest. They don't really look that good to me. So I think it's just going to go creative. Alright, so next one we have this one, Cyber City. I don't even know. Like, we're going to have to look this one up. Cyber City E-O-O-E? Oh, bro, what am I looking at here? I mean, it's creative. That's all I can really say. I'm not a big fan. Yeah, like, this is definitely super old. I'm just gonna put in creative and move on. Next we have Banana Fish. I hate the Banana Fish designs, I'm gonna be honest. All the haircuts look really bad. Everybody looks lifeless. Like, there's no emotion in these characters. It's gone bad. Next we have Kizneighbor. We got a bunch of characters on here. This is another one. Nothing's jumping out. Creative. I forgot what this show is. There's no way I can find it. It was on the list. Just took the picture, and I cannot remember. I don't even want to put it creative. I think I'm going to put it basic. Not a big fan of it. Oh, this is Terror and Resonance. Again, it's going to be another one that's basic. It's just normal people, bro. Just being honest with you. Angel's Egg. No, I'm not sure about this one. So we have Angel's Egg here. Okay, this is... this looks mad creepy, though. This is like the only character? Oh, there's this guy, I guess. She's shooting hoops right there. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. I think I have to put it in basic. There's literally 2 characters. Dude, okay, I saw this one. I don't want to pull it up because it's just his main character. This shit just looks bad. Just trust me, bro. Okay, this one, a lot of characters on here. It's another of that loose style. Just being honest, there are some blacks in it though, which do help a lot more. But this is one of those ones where it's like the main character. There's no emotion on that face. Why are his eyes just black and white? Like, there's no character there, and I don't know. The colorways are just kind of boring me as well. Red and black, like, really, dude. It's a little bit overdone at this point. And he has no shirt. His arms are red for some reason. I don't know. This is just a confusing one to me. I'm going to put it in bad. This is the one where they're all like different crystals. Just as bad. It's boring. Now, I hate this show. I hate Blue Lock. I absolutely hate it. I think it is awful. But I'll be honest, character designs are pretty damn good. It's like if they took one more step, they'd be doing too much. They stopped it right at the perfect point. I have to put it perfection, bro. They've got some great designs, I'll be honest with you. Beastars. I mean, it's got to be creative. There's nothing really like it, but I wouldn't put it higher. Next, we have Weathering with You. Again, basic people. Just going to go basic. Horimiya. Again, all they really do is different colored hair. So, basic. Silent Voice. I like the main character. He is a very clean design. The main dude. Everybody else in it looks basic, so we're going basic again. Your Name. Again, people just basic. Oshi. Oshi is by far the biggest like scenario of doing way too much. Like, there is so much texture in everybody's hair, which is normally good. And then you have so much texture in their eyes. Then everybody's eyes look different. And then their clothes look different. And there's so many colors everywhere. There's just so much going on. I really do not like it at all. There's just way too much. So I'm going to put it in bad. Next we have Violet Evergarden. It's just basic. Fist of the North Star. Again, there's nothing really like it. But like, it was like originator of a lot of stuff. Like, it kind of is what inspired JoJo's. So it's one of those ones where it's like, yeah, looking at it now, it's basic, but like, it was one of the first to do it, so I think I have to go creative. Astro Boy. Honestly, Astro Boy is pretty innovative. There's nothing that looks like it. I'm not a big fan of all the big noses and stuff and really round heads, but it is innovative. Like, you can't lie, it is, and there's still not much like it. I get it probably because it doesn't look that good, but there's really nothing like it. Ranma 1/2. It's kind of basic to me, other than different colored hair. Like, I get the old one or whatever. Might have been one of the first to do it. Even then, I'm still going basic. Not a big fan of it. Sailor Moon, I'm going to go perfection. This is nail in the coffin. Like, the woman that designed this, she obviously was designing it for girls. And I know we haven't been talking about the purpose of the designs because One Piece, you know, that didn't help it in its case. But in this situation, and we talked about before, dude, it's so hard for people to design women characters. I don't know why. Everybody knows Sailor Moon. Everybody. I've never seen an episode of Sailor Moon. I know Sailor Moon. I know half their names, and I've never seen it. That's like how good it is. It's got to go perfection. It's so good. Megalobox. Again, it's really, it's creative. Lupin. I really hate Lupin. I'm going bad. I do not like the animation in Lupin. Inuyasha. It's all very creative. So it's at least going creative, and that's it. I don't really like anything else about it. This shit is so popular for some reason in Japan. I don't know why. But Cardcaptor Sakura for me, bad. I don't remember what this is, so we're going to have to go off the designs. I have no idea. It looks pretty basic, though. Akudama Drive. This is pretty creative. I'm not going to say it's a great design, but it's definitely creative for sure. Sorry, I'm trying to get through them now. I've been talking for a while. Next is Psycho-Pass. I love the Psycho-Pass designs. People make fun of the woman because her hair, like, her hair makes her look chopped, but it looks good. So I'm gonna go great. Dora, I hate the bad. It's just all bad. Everything about that looks bad. Even the people that look like people don't look like people. They all look like monsters. Don't like it. Lane, it's just basic. It's not really anything good. Okay, I looked at this one. This is like early 2000s, like rockcore. You know, we could pull it. When I pulled it up, there's one. All right, I'm gonna go great. I like it. This one's Paranoia Agent. It's just basic. Ergo Proxy. It's creative, but I really don't like it. I don't. They're all wearing the same shit. None of them look recognizable. I'm gonna go bad. Tokyo Ghoul. The manga's obviously way better, but we have the characters here. I'm gonna go great / innovative. Odd Taxi. Where'd I put Beastars? Creative. This one will go there too. Same reason. Gundam. And this one specifically is not that good. I'm going to put it in basic. The Iron-Blooded Orphans, this one's interesting, so I'll put in creative. I don't know what the hell this is. Yo, Eureka 7. Eureka 7 looks like dog ass. Again, color's bad. Eyes look bad. Proportions are bad. Everything just looks bad. Darling in the Franxx, again, uniform. The main character, I didn't even know. I thought the main character was Zero Two. It's the only character in here. It's basic. It's gone basic. Evangelion, honestly, the proportions are bad. Hair is bad on a lot of them. honestly, it's just bad. It's just not really good. Dude, I don't know what the show is. I forgot, but it was on the list when looking it up. This show looks mad creative. But I really only saw these 2 characters, so I'm going to go creative. This is Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. These are the 3 like main characters. Obviously, if you've heard of the show before, you know the design system is like super creative, super iconic. Well, I shouldn't say super iconic, but it's kind of like if you're never going to forget what it looks like if you've seen it once. So I'm going to go creative. Tatami Galaxy, these are the lack of color is really bad, in my opinion. And color is so important in design, but it's still creative. I got to go creative. Sunny Boy, it's just not really that good, I'll be honest. Okay, this one, I forgot what it's called, but it looked mad creative, so it's going to go there. This shit looked bad. This is bad. ReZero. ReZero is going to be bad for one reason, and I think you should agree with this if you're a normal person. Having these characters that are thousands of years old that look like children and are in like maid outfits or have their boobs out, and in Amelia's case, who is literally a child, has her boobs out, it is weird. That's mad weird, bro. That makes it awful. I don't give a fuck how it looks. That's awful. So bad. Shugo Tensei, he may be Diddy, but that has nothing to do with the designs. The designs are pretty basic, other than like 2 characters though, so I go basic. Dorohedro, or not Dorohedro, we already did that. Dororo, Skin Baby. I like the main character, but everybody else just looks normal. To go basic. Maggie, honestly, I'm going great. Again, very good use of colors. The clothes could be a little bit better, but yeah, I'm gonna go great. The Great Pretender, I don't like them. I'll be honest, I don't like them. They look bad. So I'm going bad. Berserk. Come on, that one's easy. Space Dandy. Again, this is a case of doing too much. It is creative, though. Okay, this one, the Machiko and Hachin, is pretty good. I'll say creative. Devilman Crybaby, I hate these designs. Bad. These are bad, too. Dororo, it has some characters with good designs. But I'm going to have to go basic, because most of them are bad, other than the blonde-haired guy and the girl with the mask. Fooly Cooly, it's got some great designs. I was going to go great. Akira, it's innovative. Got to go innovative. Dr. Stone, the manga actually looks way better. The designs overall, though, I just say are creative. Pluto, they're pretty basic. Erased, as basic as it gets. And that's it. That's it for the list. I know I probably could have went in depth on a lot more. I've been sitting here for hours at this point recording this. So, honestly, I'm just done. Just being honest with you. And, yeah, this is the list. You can pause, take a look at whatever, give your thoughts and stuff below. This is just my opinion on design from a professional graphic designer, that being me. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, peace.